In the popular imagination, high intelligence is the ultimate lottery ticket. We assume that a sharp mind guarantees a smooth life, professional success, and the admiration of peers. We imagine the genius as the center of attention, holding court with witty repartee. However, the lived reality for many highly intelligent individuals is often starkly different. It is frequently characterized by a profound, echoing sense of isolation. This is not necessarily the loneliness of the recluse who lacks social skills, nor is it the arrogance of the misanthrope who despises humanity. Rather, it is a structural loneliness, a specific type of alienation that arises from processing the world differently than the majority of those around you. As the writer Ernest Hemingway famously noted, "Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know." To understand why smart people often feel so alone, we must look beyond surface-level social dynamics and explore the cognitive, emotional, and existential burdens that come with a high-functioning mind. The first reason for this isolation is purely mathematical. Intelligence, like height or athletic ability, is distributed on a bell curve. The vast majority of the population falls within the average range. As one moves further to the right of the curve, into the realm of the gifted and the genius, the pool of available peers shrinks drastically. For an adult, meaningful connection often relies on cognitive resonance, the ability to share ideas, humor, and references at a similar speed and depth. When you are 2 or 3 standard deviations above the norm, finding someone who speaks your mental language is statistically rare. This creates a communication gap. The highly intelligent person often finds themselves translating their thoughts. They must slow down, simplify complex associations, or omit nuances to be understood. While this is a necessary social skill, doing it constantly is exhausting. It leads to a feeling of always wearing a mask, of never truly being seen or understood in one's entirety. The smart person is often the listener, the advisor, or the problem solver, but rarely the one who is challenged or intellectually fed by others. Social lubricant consists largely of small talk, discussions about the weather, local gossip, sports scores, or day-to-day trivialities. For the average person, this is a comforting ritual that builds rapport. For the highly intelligent mind, it can feel like torture. Smart people are generally driven by a hunger for depth. They are fascinated by concepts, abstract ideas, systemic problems, and the why behind the what. They want to discuss the ethics of artificial intelligence, the origins of consciousness, or the geopolitical implications of a current event. When they attempt to steer conversations toward these topics, they are often met with blank stares or are socially penalized for being too intense or too serious. Consequently, they retreat. They participate in the mundane rituals of social interaction to be polite, but their minds are elsewhere, leaving them feeling detached even in a crowded room. This disconnect creates a specific form of loneliness, being surrounded by people, yet having no one to talk to. Ignorance is not exactly bliss, but it is certainly quieter. A defining trait of high intelligence is pattern recognition and analytical processing. A smart mind rarely stops working. It is constantly analyzing environments, predicting outcomes, and deconstructing behaviors. While this is useful in a crisis, it is a hindrance in intimate relationships. Where others might see a simple disagreement, the intelligent person analyzes the semantic structure of the argument, the logical fallacies being used, and the psychological projection involved. They struggle to just be in the moment because they are busy dissecting the moment. This analytical nature can also lead to a critical outlook. Smart people often have high standards for themselves and project those standards onto others. They are quick to spot inconsistency, hypocrisy, or irrationality. While they may not voice these observations, the internal accumulation of these flaws creates a barrier. It becomes difficult to relax and trust when your brain is constantly flagging potential risks and logical errors in the people around you.
There is a misconception that smart people are cold or robotic. In reality, high intelligence is often correlated with high sensitivity, a concept explored by psychologist Kazimir Dombrowski in his theory of overexcitabilities. Many smart people possess a heightened awareness of their environment and the emotions of others. This leads to a phenomenon known as Weltschmerz, world weariness. Because they possess a broad base of knowledge and a capacity for systems thinking, smart people are often acutely aware of global suffering, political incompetence, and the fragility of the human condition. They see the trajectory of history and the repetition of mistakes. Carrying the weight of this awareness is isolating. When you try to express existential dread or concern about long-term societal collapse to a group of friends enjoying a barbecue, you become the buzzkill. To avoid this, the intelligent person creates a silo for their deepest worries, carrying the burden of their awareness alone. Paradoxically, smart people are often the most prone to self-doubt. This is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with low ability overestimate their competence, while people with high ability underestimate it because they are painfully aware of how much they don't know. High achievers often feel like frauds. They assume that if they understand something, it must be easy, and therefore everyone else understands it too. This prevents them from taking credit for their insights. They may feel isolated by their own insecurity, believing that they haven't earned their place or that their peers are actually smarter than them. This internal struggle is rarely shared, as complaining about feeling stupid when you're objectively successful elicits little sympathy from others. The hobbies and interests of the highly intelligent often diverge from the mainstream. While the majority might bond over the latest reality TV show or viral trend, the intelligent individual might be spending their Friday night coding, reading obscure history, learning a dead language, or painting. These solitary pursuits are deeply fulfilling for the mind, but they physically remove the person from the social sphere. Furthermore, when they do enter the social sphere, their excitement about their niche interests is rarely reciprocated. Over time, the smart person learns that their true passions are private affairs. They compartmentalize their life, the public self that nods along to popular culture, and the private self that comes alive only in solitude. As we age, time becomes our most finite resource. Smart people are often acutely aware of the passing of time. This creates a low tolerance for relationships that feel transactional or superficial. Adult social life is often built on networks of convenience, work colleagues, neighbors, other parents at the school gate. While these relationships serve a function, they rarely touch the soul. A highly intelligent person may prefer total solitude over the energy drain of maintaining fake relationships. They would rather read a book that challenges them than sit through a dinner party that bores them. This selectivity is often mistaken for snobbery. It is not that they think they are better than others, it is that they are desperate for authenticity. In a world increasingly driven by image and surface-level engagement, the search for authentic connection can be a lonely path.
The experience of the highly intelligent individual is often a subtle yet persistent contradiction, a deep inner world struggling to find external resonance. For those who find themselves carrying this burden of insight, the transition from painful loneliness to nourishing solitude is the ultimate goal, achieved through 3 interconnected strategies. The first step is purely internal: radical acceptance and reframing. One must first acknowledge that this cognitive difference is a structural reality, not a personal failure. You are not required to numb your mind or deliberately slow your processing speed just to fit into conventional social molds. Instead, reframe this difference as the price of admission to a mind that sees further, deeper, and faster. Embrace your necessary solitude, seeing it not as a cruel default, but as a heavy protective coat that keeps you warm within the vastness of your own complex inner world. This acceptance immediately disarms the self-criticism that feeds the isolation. Beyond the internal shift, the next strategy is strategic connection and tribe building. Since profound cognitive resonance is statistically rare, the focus must shift from proximity to quality. Utilize modern tools to seek out niche communities, whether online forums, specialized academic groups, or creative circles, where your deepest passions and abstract ideas are finally met with shared enthusiasm, not blank stares. Crucially, practice intellectual humility by broadening your appreciation of value in others. Acknowledge that kindness, emotional intelligence, courage, and loyalty are forms of genius in their own right. By building bridges with individuals who excel in these different realms, you enrich your life without demanding that every relationship satisfy your analytical hunger. Finally, the most critical strategy involves converting cognitive overdrive into constructive action. The highly analytical mind struggles because it is constantly running diagnostics on the world's problems, Weltschmerz, and interpersonal inconsistencies. To manage this relentless processing, channel that rumination into tangible outputs. Instead of letting complex thoughts paralyze you, turn them into writing, coding, or artistic projects. This makes your inner complexity productive rather than debilitating. Furthermore, consciously cultivate solitude, the chosen act of being alone, to ensure your necessary time away from the noise is dedicated to restorative activities like reading, focused study, or reflective meditation. By making your alone time intentional and regenerative, you transform your quiet moments from a source of pain into the very engine of your growth.